To be honest with you, our coaches have done an outstanding job maintaining their focus, and their focus is making the playoffs, and basically that's the prize at the end of the road.
For the second straight week, Jim Morton was the head coach of the Harlingen South Hawks, and for the second straight weeks, the Hawks played pretty well, coming within 3 points and having a chance to tie against PSJA North in the fourth quarter, but the field goal was no good. PSJA North is the winner. They are now 3-1 in district, and as Brendan Fitzgerald reports, they've got one of the top two-way players in the game.
PSJA North entered the 2011 season with unfinished business. A loss in the regular season finale last year kept the Raiders home for the playoffs. At 3-1 in district, they're already more than halfway to the playoffs this year.
Playoffs, we got to make it to the playoffs. We didn't make it last year, we made it 2 years in a row. We're going for the playoffs this year.
And the main reason for the Raiders' success is Mr. Everything, Austin Navarro. He's a dual-threat quarterback, safety on defense, and chips in on special teams. And Coach Bruce Bush knows he has to ride him each week for the best chance to win.
He's one of our best athletes. He's one of our best leaders, and he's pretty gassed, but we had to run him. We knew we were going to have to run him. I told him get ready to run, get buckled up.
I've always felt like I could play safety, but I mean, they just threw me in there, and thank God I've been doing pretty good lately.
For Navarro, it's about doing what he's asked to do so that he can lead his team to the postseason in his senior year.
I think we got 2 more games and then we can clinch playoffs, so it's a lot better feeling than we are right now than we were last year.
On Thursday night against Harlingen South, Austin Navarro ran for more than 130 yards. He threw a 56-yard touchdown pass on the last play of the first half, had a couple of punts, and recovered a fumble. The do-everything man for the Raiders leads the charge. They have Edinburgh North next week, then Edinburgh Economides before trying to get revenge against PSJA in the regular season finale. For Sunday Sports Extra, I'm Brendan Fitzgerald.
All right, thanks, Brendan. So let's take a look at those 31 5A standings. It's Harlingen, PSJA North, and then a 3-way tie for third between PSJA Memorial, Edinburgh, I'm sorry, 4-way tie, Edinburgh, PSJA, and Harlingen South in there now. So this one's starting to come down to the wire. But PSJA North coming up with a big win, Joe, this past weekend. And I mean, you had to like the way they looked against Harlingen South.
I like the way they held their poise when Harlingen South came back against them, more so maybe than anything else in that ball game. They had the lead, they had control, and then all of a sudden here comes South with a big haymaker trying to knock them out. Held on, stood tall, won the ball game. I was more impressed with that than anything else on that team.
PSJA North with 3 rushers over 130 yards. It's tough to beat a team like that, isn't it, Greg?
Like the 70s Nebraska team or what, man? I'll tell you, man, that's a good, solid team. They made 3 big plays, actually 4 in the first half. 1 got called back. The halfback pass I thought was a great call. If there is a coaching staff that knows when to work the timing on that trick play, I don't know which one it is that does it better than PSJA North. I was impressed with both teams. It was a good game to be at. Neither one comes out of that game, to me, feeling down about the way their season's going to go.
PSJA Memorial and PSJA had just a knockdown, drag them out on Friday. It comes down to the end, and PSJA Memorial hits the touchdown with 30 seconds left to edge the Bears 21-16. Joe, does this give PSJA Memorial a little I don't know, momentum going into the, who do you think out of all these 4 teams has the chance of taking the last 2 spots?
Well, again, I think you're looking at momentum comes from a win.
Right.
You know, Harlingen South can take some momentum for what they did in the second half in their ball game, but I think momentum heading into this part of the season, you need some wins, because if you don't win, you can play as hard as you want. You can be right there in the mix, but to win, you're staying above everyone else in these standings. And right now, when you got so many teams fighting for those last couple of spots, win. You'll get all the momentum you want.
Greg?
Well, what was the question again?
Who do you think has the best chance out of these 4 teams to make the last 2 spots?
Memorial's got the toughest road.
Okay.
Edinburgh has a decent chance to get it done. They just got to beat Memorial. They got to beat PSJA this week. PSJA has the toughest road. Memorial the next toughest. So I'm looking at South. I'm looking at the Bobcats. Now, like you said, South didn't win. It didn't win. They came close. They're going to have to get it done. This game against PSJA Memorial is the game of the year for them.
Finally, guys, real quick, moral victory for Edinburgh North against Harlingen. Held them under 50 points.
I would say it's more than that, because they had 3 interceptions, 4 sacks, held Harlingen to 102 yards rushing, but the key to the game was that they ran 30 more plays. The only way to beat the Cardinals or to compete is to keep them off the field.
Wake-up call for Harlingen?
I was going to say, you know, you take a look at Harlingen's schedule early in the season, and they were playing at such a high level against some very good football teams, and now they're playing against some teams that, when they look at them, it's real tough to say, okay, they're going to challenge us here, 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 or here. And so, yeah, it's trap time for them. But Manny Gomez there's none better than finding something to motivate those kids with. And he'll use this ball game. Watch out this week when they take the field.
He might even use something we just said. You never know.
Been done, but hey, man, I'm wearing a red shirt, Manny. Be cool, man. Come on now.